EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Novelo for EA Sports, calling all the action for today's event. We are here at Wolf Creek Golf Club. It's located in Mesquite, Nevada. Frank, if I didn't know that it was Mesquite, Nevada, I think we landed on the moon and they built a golf course here. This is just mind-boggling.
100 years ago, you couldn't build a golf course like this here. Obviously, all the equipment needed, but in the end, it's wonderful. It's an absolute playground for anyone that sort of loves to play the game. It is desert golf, obviously because of the terrain, but the green oasis that cuts in between is each hole. It just sort of gives you a totally different experience because you keep having to remind yourself you are smack bang in the middle of the desert.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That's another green hit in regulation, and that has been the story all day, just wearing out the center of that club face. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Good job right there, now making a move and setting himself up for, who knows, a good weekend run, maybe at another title. The former college standout has been excellent today. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is. Second shot.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. Shouldn't be a problem here. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Clean this up with a tap. Frank, this is just an embarrassing performance.
There's no crying in golf, Rich.
Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunker on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway? Frank, as we look at the approach here at the 9th, what do you think the best play is?
Well, unless you've laid up off the tee, Rich, you're only going to have a short shot into this green. You don't have to loft it too high. You can use the full length of the green. So something coming in a little bit lower and bouncing towards the flag is probably the best play. Should be safely on deck.
Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, after that birdie, has to be feeling as though they're not out of it just yet.
They're not far away from the first page of the leaderboard. A couple more birdies.
Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score. Oh, he's winding this one up. Doesn't have the power though. I'm loving that balance.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully. And this one just starts right of the flag. Our computer gives us 23 feet, Rich.
Well, he's going for back-to-back birdies here, trying to jumpstart this round.
Some momentum moving in the right direction.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough, just persuade yourself. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Early part of this second 9, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Did the job right there. Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Frank, how did he do there?
Well, he's inside 30 feet, but 27 feet, it's not exactly what you'd call close.
Settles in over the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. This for birdie. And with that birdie, moves into second place. That's the end of round one, and we saw a lot of good golf out there today, Frank.
And it was a bonus to anyone that got off to a good start today.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Today we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action out on the course. And Frank, what can you tell us about Wolf Creek?
Well, it's a mesmerizing layout. You can see from above, Rich, in amongst all these sort of canyon areas and boulders and that. I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's like Disneyland for the golfers. It's phenomenal, and each hole has a totally different look. It's hard to imagine you can build a golf course in an area like this.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh, I thought he had that. Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey. Locked in on the read and the speed. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. On to the 11th hole. We're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards. Very playable, and you never know. Today might be the day where you make birdie.
That shot does finish up on the green, but it sets up for a very difficult putt. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Has this to save par. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Now to the par 5, 12, pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, called water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. Then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, seen many a 6s and 7s racked up here at 12.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
And it makes the green in regulation. This would be huge from 30 feet away. Frank, you had to make a run at that one.
Oh, yeah, good effort. Let's see if he can make birdie, but Oda put an eagle on the scorecard. What that would have meant to him.
That is some good work right there. Birdie and one shot closer to the lead. 13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what? I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, well, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Not too bad, about 25 feet away. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Getting set now over the putt.
It doesn't go in, you got to add another one to the scorecard.
And that's where the golf ball's just staring at you and mocking you and laughing at you.
You know deep down it's smiling too, don't you?
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Ouch. really can't afford to give away shots at this point in the tournament, Frank. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the phone, because you want to take some pictures here. Yeah. What a spectacular view. Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers, 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see, the other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. That's sort of 3 different tier levels and that. But let's see, birdies are to be made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Third shot, looking for a good one.
And that's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. That's how you maintain momentum, make those putts for par. So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Just amazing what can be done today. Where you can build golf courses. On the moon? I mean, that's what this looks like here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada.
And obviously it's an experience, too, that has to be played before you can thoroughly enjoy it, because you just wouldn't think this is possible. If someone said you can come out to the middle of the desert and you're going to play a phenomenal golf course, you'd say it's not possible. But as these holes intertwine around in the canyon area, just wonderful vistas, huge changes in elevations. Really, it's just a fun adventure.
Now, the start of the back nine here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada, or as I like to call it, Mind Blower Golf Club. Frank, everywhere you look, it's just a mind blower. I mean, this one is hard to believe.
Well, this one's also hard. He goes after it like he is here.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
Is it stopped yet? It's still going.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. We are about 170 yards from the hole. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Frank, anytime you're inside 15 feet, you have to like your chances.
Yeah, our computer gives us 13 feet to be precise.
Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. effort and a good par putt. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here. And this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
That's how you play the game. Right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Bogey here yesterday. Now this for birdie. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Just 5 feet left. You love to watch him disappear, don't you? Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. This is all feel with a lob wedge. That's a well-played shot, putting the ball right on the green. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That's a good birdie right there. And to 4 under par for the championship. Now to the 13th hole, and, well, I don't know, should we just fly it over the mountains, Frank?
It looks like that, but then you better find dry land. 350 yards, but as the crow flies, it's probably just a little over 300 yards. I don't know if the mere mortals would really want to flash it across that desert ridge. You probably want to play a little left of it, have a little pitch up the hill, but if you're one of the longer hitters, why not just try it, see if you can make it.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Just playing excellent golf. 5 under for the tournament. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Well, take a look at this site, Wolf Creek Golf Club. It is for real. Frank, I've never seen anything quite like this as we get set to call it for EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner behind the mic, and we welcome you to this site that opened up back in 2000. It's a par of 72 with some elevated tees. Frank, what does the player need to look out for here at Wolf Creek?
Well, everything. Try and keep your eyes on the fairways, though. That's the only green thing apart on this magnificent venue. It's hard to imagine you can play golf in this sort of area, but it's so well defined. Obviously, anything green is golf course, and left or right of that, you're going to find yourself in some problems. But really trying to judge all the elevation changes. Ball's going to fly a little bit further in the thin air, but it's amazing on the eye. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Frank, about 150 yards to that hole location. Well, Frank, the wind is really starting to pick up.
You've got to fixate on the direction now. If you get the direction wrong and or mistime one of those gusts, all sorts of problems. Well, Rich, it looked like he just took the normal club that he would have out of the fairway, but you've always got to take at least one less when it looks like a flyer lie.
Little conversation, and you've had these before, Frank, between the player and the caddy right there. Maybe they should have gone down a club. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, I thought he made that. Dropping a shot here late in the round, Frank, with that bogey at the 14th. Just a couple of feet.
Well, with time running out, Rich, that's what's going to make that bogey sting even more.
Can't afford to give him away at this point in the championship. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers because they're, well, a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
Up to the 15th green, but looking at a tough putt, considerably long, over 25 feet away. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, you can see he's just disgusted with that effort. So just a formality here. And that's a bogey. Short par 4, 16th hole, measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dogleg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way you've got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters at 393 yards. But just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there. And before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here. And it should sit up nicely for a birdie.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Superb shot.
That's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
This will be a birdie if it drops. Frank, that birdie will help the cause. Now to the 17th, par 5 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club.
Yeah, dogleg left. Tee shot obviously has to be played short of that creek down there. It's still going to be a reachable hole, even though this hole's sort of around the 550, 560 mark. But because you've got to play short of that stream, it's going to leave a lengthy second shot, and you've got to get the distance right on the button.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. That's the biggest roar I've heard all week long. That was an eagle roar.
For good reason, not just an eagle too. All of a sudden, back in contention.
Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250 yard mark, and of course you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and well, they want you to finish on a good note. So good drive in the fairway here, or 3-wood, pitch it on the green, make a 3, and buy your friends a drink in the clubhouse. Our computer gives us 23 feet, Rich.
Frank, how rare would this be if this putt drops?
Well, this is I'd like to say once in a lifetime, but on the odd occasion we do see back-to-back eagles, but it certainly is something to watch.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
Well, birdies are hard to come by in this situation. It's so tight.
Keeps him right in the thick of it. Just a great putt and a great win.